So the good news for anyone who hasn't already been through any part of this is that now we have audio possibly throughout the entire episode. Maybe. I mean, that kind of was the entire intent and goal. I know, I'm nuts. But we're going to just see here. Let me just make sure this is actually even streaming. Make sure that you're getting pretty colors. And make sure I'm not making a complete mess times 2. Because I know. Tim embarrassing himself on the internet? What's new?
Hello and welcome to Fort Fritz, episode 7. I'm going to let you in on a secret here. It's a very close-guarded secret, but we are going to try to scare you by using real life stories, and also we're going to embellish a little bit. Maybe now, maybe later, but be forewarned if you are not into anything that's going to scare you right now. Maybe you're in the wrong mindset. Go ahead and hop off, and we will catch you on the next one, but probably not. You are listening to Fort Fritz. Thank you for joining co-host Mandaddy,
Hi.
Nick Spry, hello, and Kaz.
Howdy.
You're all looking absolutely dapper tonight.
Duh.
Guys, thank you so much for showing up. I can't. It's like I can't even.
It's really boggy out here.
Yeah.
Like super boggy.
No. Don't step on the grass. Don't step on the mud.
Where else is there to step?
Seems only to be.
That's for you to answer.
I'm not so much stepping into it as I'm sinking into it.
Yeah, there's a very... it's actually kind of feels like it's pulling me in a little bit.
Squelchy is the word.
Squanchy?
Squanchy.
Sink if you have to, but I swear to you, I just saw something that was absolutely otherworldly.
What was it?
Well, that's scary.
Can't even
in this place, gee, that never happens here.
Well, this is outside. I didn't think it was going to happen outside.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen outside with the stuff that's happened inside.
Well, you know, we
try.
didn't quite dress for the occasion. It's a little muddy out here.
Yeah.
Kind of boggish.
I've got nice pants on for once, and it's all the way up to my, half the way up to my knee right now, so this is not good.
You didn't get my text about not having to wear pants tonight?
Hey,
Nope.
I thought that was a joke.
Oh, I never joke.
I don't really
Not about pants, about pants.
No.
I'm not a fan of the Porky Pig in public.
It's definitely the move.
Yeah.
What?
No pants, folks.
This is what I saw. Allow me, please, to remember it to you. Where Fort Fritz is, and of course I've inherited this haunted house from my late uncle. Where Fort Fritz is located, it's subject to a lot of sudden downpours, like extremely heavy rain and sometimes hail and sometimes snow, depending on the season. Microbursts. Thank you, man, daddy.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Fritz.
Yeah. This sudden storm that is now retreating, you can see it far back, like 50,000 feet in the air. These storms are.
Where are you getting these measurements?
There's something alt news. There's something that happens between protons or neutrons in a cell that actually will create lightning. What I just saw was
God.
what I just saw was almost a syncopated light show in the clouds.
Really?
What do you mean?
Like it was like
Syncopated to what?
Like a rush?
Dun,
Like a rush?
Hey! Like Hava Nagila?
So do you believe that you're being invaded by Jewish aliens?
Who's to say?
Am I Jewish? I don't know.
That's what
It's
Stargate
something
was
you
about.
should be aware of.
I know it's just religion and me. We don't. I don't know if we're friends on Facebook.
It sure is pretty, though.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, look at it go. It's like dancing. It's like one of those, like when you go into, like the beginning of that Monty Python and the Holy Grail where they do the llama montage. It's like those flashing red and white placards that they have, when they go, "Ah, la llamas." So
It's a deep reference from Nick Spry right there.
Yeah,
Deep
that
reference
was
from Nick
like-
Spry. That was nice.
Pulled it out of the trunk there. That was badass.
I was afraid you were talking about Monty Python where God wearing a crown comes up over the
With the
clouds is
foot,
about to
just like
happen.
that
Interesting.
happens in so many of them. You have
Most
to
of them, actually.
specify which one.
By the way, God in the Monty Python films is a rugby player.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And
Really?
I can't remember it offhand, but
Because of his cuffs?
irregardless, what I saw in that night sky was friggin' aliens, man.
Is it similar to what we're seeing right now?
No, you missed it.
This
I
looks
tried to
more just like
text you,
regular
but
lightning, yeah. So you were seing something more.
What did you think was
actual-
pretty then?
Were they moving around?
They were moving around. They were traveling at very high speeds, and then they would stop, and then they would slow down like a trap music remix.
What is trap? I'm too old to know what trap is. What is trap?
Wikipedia.
So I gotta, to Wikipedia, I must go.
Wikipedia.
Here, Wikipedia, I am too old to understand what trap means. Please enlighten me, O great Wikipedia.
Also, what does it mean to be lit, Wikipedia?
Do I need to be woke before I can be lit? Or can I be lit and woke? Just keep it 100.
At 100, my child. 100, 100, 100, fire emoji.
Crying smiley face.
Does anybody here know what that would be? Other, like besides the just the typical natural phenomenon of cloud to cloud lightning, because that was crazy.
Maybe a space disco?
So let me ask you guys this. If I were to tell you that these lights were attributed to, let's say, squid boat lights reflecting off of the clouds, what would you tell me?
Really?
Would you think that was... See, you would think it was a little bit, maybe an iffy explanation.
Specifically squid boat lights.
All right, let's
reflecting
say
off
maybe
clouds.
that's a little out of the realm of possibility.
Okay.
What if I told you they were unburnt meteors?
Maybe.
But or I thought
Still
it'd have
seems
to
a
be
little weird,
burning
right?
meteors
Yeah,
to make light.
Yeah, well, and in syncopation, too. That's
Kaz, are you referring to meteorites?
Unburnt meteors.
Would that be a meteor,
A meteorite?
entering the Earth at? Well, no, yeah.
Well,
it's
I
just-
mean, I'm not some sort of
Scientist.
meteor
Well, that's
scientist.
what it should
Never have
here.
you claimed to
It was-
be.
that's what a shooting star would be, right? It would just be a little unburnt.
I'd have to
rock.
take your word for it, yeah.
Huh.
I would assume so, though. That does make sense.
Hey, are you putting us
I
on?
think,
What are you
is it
giving
like
me?
meteors actually make it all the way to the ground and meteorites burn up?
Maybe.
Maybe.
And do meteors hang from the top of the cave, or do they
I,
stick
I
up from the
believe.
bottom?
I believe once it's inside of the Earth's atmosphere, it's considered a meteorite, no matter what. And when it's a meteor, it's outside of
Oh, okay.
What about, like, let's say I say it's a Venus. It's all of these lights that you're seeing dance around, stay still, move, change their position. That's the light of Venus right now. What would you say to that? What if I told you that was the
how is that
explanation?
even possible?
How is it creating light?
Well,
You guys are all coming up with very valid questions to some pretty shaky explanations that I would have for these lights, right?
Okay.
Sure.
You guys ever hear about the Kaikoura lights? The Kaikoura lights is the name given to a series of unexplained phenomenon occurring over the Kaikoura region of New Zealand.
how do you spell that?
Kaikoura.
Okay.
In this region in New Zealand in 1978, there were two separate instances of these unexplained lights tracking aircraft around Kaikoura, New Zealand. Initially, the first sighting was made on December 21st. It was the crew of a cargo aircraft radioed into a local air traffic controller and said, there's these weird lights basically tracking us. They're on the side of the plane, and then they're updating as the position of the lights is changing. It's above the plane, now it's hovering, now it's fallen back, and they can't see it anymore. Now it's returned, it's on the other side of the wing. So this light is moving alongside them, it's falling back, it's seeming to observe them in some way. Simultaneously, police and various emergency services in the area were getting frantic phone calls from people about these strange lights that are showing up over their towns and the area.
Jesus.
Several other air traffic controllers reported seeing what they called a paint on the radar, which was basically a blip. They're seeing this thing, but it doesn't have a record. It's not supposed to be there, and it's there 1 second and gone the next, and they're not really sure what's going on. So this caused kind of an uproar in the community. Everybody kind of wanted to know what was going on. They reached out to the Ministry of Defense for New Zealand. They were like, hey, look, what's going on? Are we being attacked? Like, what's happening? And the explanations that the New Zealand government gave to the people were that they were lights from squid boats, that it was the light of Venus, that it was unburnt meteors, that they were cars and trains.
In the sky?
Right.
That followed planes?
Well, okay, so you have the sun as the brightest object in our sky. You've got the moon at number 2. Venus is number 3. It's incredibly bright.
Oh, I'm sure, but I don't believe that the light reflecting from Venus is able to move alongside your plane and track it and change position and disappear and come back. So, needless to say, these people were extremely frightened, so much so that news crew from Australia decided to send over a filming crew to interview some people about the sightings to ask them what happened. So again, 9 days later, on the evening of December 30th, 1978, the television crew that came to interview people about their sightings for the initial light sightings, the television crew was en route to their filming location and witnessed the lights for themselves and actually were able to capture footage of these lights tracking their aircraft, moving around in sort of erratic patterns, following them, stopping. Certain of the photographs that you can see, things apparently being dropped off. There are these sort of almost transparent sort of discs that appear to like fall away as they leave the bottom of the craft. Like a green turtle shell.
That's a speed bump.
Once again, this is something that just sort of blew up in the area. Everybody was, naturally horrified. There was this unexplained, mysterious light that was kind of beaming around, and people they weren't getting a solid explanation from the government. And not only that, but now we're in the age of, film. Like, they were able to capture this on camera, and we have evidence. And if you've never seen the footage of the Kaikoura lights, look it up, because it is supremely spooky.
Really?
Yes.
Are they all?
It's good footage. It's not.
Well, it's from '78.
But still, it's not like because a lot of times it's like grab the worst camera we've ever seen.
So only 9 days later did this second occurrence happen to the news crew that came to interview the people who had seen the first one.
Were all of these lights, since you've watched the video, I haven't seen it, were all of these lights the same color? Were they all just like white lights, or were they multicolored?
So the lights that you see, obviously, from the 1978 camera crew footage is this sort of bright white, yellowish, moving orb, right? The descriptions from the pilot varies. Like initially he's saying it looks like it's as big as a house. There has to be something huge off to our left. And then he says, never mind. I'm seeing like sort of a wall of blinking lights. These like really quickly blinking lights. I'm not sure what's going on. And then the blinking stopped, and then the bigger lights resumed. So there appeared to be some sort of changing that was happening with the lights. They weren't able to get a solid view on whatever this thing was, but it was definitely able to not only keep up with their craft, but change position around it very quickly, and then also be gone instantly and have, our advanced, radar detection services not able to pick it up. There was a man named Ian Ufendell working at an Air Force base in the area that has an additional story to add to this, in that he was working the whole week of the initial light sighting. So he was there during the initial panic and their sort of data collection and stuff like that. What he says is that the stories of the Kaikoura lights do not tell you that on December 18th, the night before the famous sightings, 2 children, they called them children, but I guess these people were 15, 16, they were teenagers, burst into a police station and were frantic, and they were unable to basically get a straight story out of them. As they pieced the story together, these 2 kids were essentially chased down some strange mountain road in New Zealand by a light at ground level with their car that would catch up to the passenger side, drop back behind them, catch up to the driver's side, move away. When they tried to stop and sort of investigate, it would like go away and then resume tracking them, maybe like a mile later down the road. So
that would kind of play hand in hand with that highly maneuverable craft that the pilot was talking about as well. And if these were being dropped from like a mothership, it's almost like this acting drone in a way.
Right. I mean, to us now, it sounds like we can, in 2017, I could tell you, maybe there was like a really nice
recon drone,
right? A really nicely made
recon
drone. Yeah. Now, that seems feasible. In 1978, I'm sure they didn't think anything about that. They figured if it has to fly, it has to.
They had just seen
Pick up
Close
speed.
Encounters of the Third Kind. They're like, man, I'm just spooked out by that.
Yeah, it is kind of a coincidence. Was this right around Devil's Tower?
Mashed potatoes, sandwiches are just dropping.
Mashed potatoes were in.
left and right.
This means something.
Succotash was out.
Are mashed potatoes hot?
1978.
They are not.
They are not.
But they are delicious.
So yeah, this is widely regarded as one of the most credible UFO sightings that we have, just because there were 7 witnesses, 2 tape recordings, detection records of detection of unusual ground and airplane radar targets, and 16 millimeter color movie. So this is well documented. And to me, and it also sounds like to you guys, the explanations are pretty bogus, right?
Yeah.
Unburnt meteors, squid
That's-
boat lights.
yeah.
That all
Did they
sounds like
ever
bogus.
come back on it? Did they ever say, all right, well, we know it wasn't what we said, we just don't know what it was? Or did they double down at all?
I've read some recent publications around it, and it still sounds like they're sticking to their guns on it was Venus, it was unburnt meteors, it was
Those
nothing.
damn Kiwis.
Were they totally silent lights too? Because that's terrifying as well.
Yeah, I don't
was
believe-
there a sound accompanying it? Or they being
the
chased
story-
this entire time just by the silent flashing?
The story by the guy who talked about the kids who were being chased down the road by the light said that, yeah, specifically it would made no sound. It was just tracking them, basically.
Physics be damned.
Right.
One visual explanation for UFOs are swamp gas. Have you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
heard about that? Methane or some kind of dense gas will be released. But and also, I think Marfa, Texas has the Marfa lights.
Oh yeah.
We have the
I've
Oviedo
heard that.
lights.
Yeah, and the Oviedo lights.
Yep.
Very nice, man, Daddy.
But
The
even-
Oviedo lights.
Thank you, Fritz.
But even moonlight refracting light through clouds of gas wouldn't account for something chasing,
Maneuverability.
Right.
maneuverability.
I feel like
disappearing and reappearing.
Right. The sort of cohesive orb that is moving around kind of changes the idea of it being like refracted gas light or whatever. This is like a thing like moving through the mist at you. This is not, oh, hey, I saw a sparkle. These are people with radars. It's not like, you're standing out in your backyard going, oh, maybe that was a firefly. This is like radar technology to make sure we're not crashing airplanes into each other. And they're like, hey, there's something out there and we don't know what it is.
Is there actual audio recordings of the
internal
pilot?
base communication? I believe there is one recording of one of the pilots as he radioed in to describe the light, and that is also pretty spooky if you look that up.
Well, let's see if we can try to find it with like additional research. But in the time being, let's get the hell out of this open plane in the back 40 and
You
let's
don't
go
wanna
back
meet
into the house.
Yeah, I lost one of my shoes.
Nope.
Yeah, shoe if you're lucky. I'm pretty sure I'm
Shoe is
missing a foot
squishy.
at this point.
I'm sure there's feet and shoes in the house. Let's just get
You
back
have
to the
extra
house.
feet inside your house?
In his
don't
house,
know,
of course he does.
Hey, I'll wear it.
You knew my late Uncle Felix as well as I do. Okay, at this point. All right, let's go back inside. You are listening to Fort Fritz. After the break, we will have voicemails from people who have called in to our hotline at 570-478-3789. That's 570-4RT-FRTZ. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we will catch you on the flippy side. Fort Fritz.
Oh, hopefully the audio just cut out for you because I'm interrupting it. Interrupting cow? No, bad jokes. So, gonna answer OEN1. I know him as Chuck anyways. He's asking, so you scan a drawing, then play with the colors, or you change colors and scan? I've kind of done both. Working on an ink drawing now that I intend to scan. Yeah, I generally scan first. I'll tend to scan an image in, and then I'll take the colors out of it to make a palette, and then kind of play around with it until I start to get a groove or kind of find my purpose or goal or intent or wherever I'm heading with it at the time. It's not really anything too thought out. Some of this is more of just seeing what I can do, and then sometimes I move into an image with an exact, precise intent. That's rarer than you'd think, probably because I work in abstracts. I don't know. This one was kind of a firmed up design already, but I mean, I've spent a good hour and a half trying to even decide. It just did not feel imaging tonight, but it said I'd put something up, and here we are. Enough distraction from the show for the moment. Thanks for your time, guys.
Welcome back to Fort Fritz. Now, we just listened to a couple voicemails, and we would like to play you this one that was called into 570-4RT-FRTZ.
I actually have quite a few. I'm going to start with my most recent. We have a local hotel that my boyfriend and I frequent when he comes to town. Go out into the smoking area, so to speak, out by the hotel, and have one of the chairs out of the four in the row just slide out from the wall. Oh, like 3 feet out from the wall, not just a little slide. And then my very funny boyfriend would come out, and he would sit with his little spirit box app thing that he has on his phone. And basically, it would have all these little green bars that would go up and down to kind of show you if anything was happening as far as, like, activity. And I asked it, I said, are you the one that moved the chair for me? His phone goes crazy. It goes, bring her. And followed by, shortly, my boyfriend picking up his phone and saying, we're going inside. I have a friend that tags himself as a medium. And so we went out there with his actual spirit box and had quite the conversation. Not only they know us by name, but they just basically said they enjoyed our company.
Amanda, your boyfriend seems like a very brave and industrious fellow, but I would caution you against amateur ghost hunting. We are professionals. We make it look easy, but I think that this is something that you should be taking a little bit more seriously.
I'm glad that they went from having the app spirit box to having a real spirit box, because you don't want to go in there with fake spirit boxes.
Right, so that was the
who
first,
knows what could happen.
That was the first pro move, right? Like, they're definitely stepping in the right direction with the real spirit box.
Yeah.
But so that leave that app stuff alone.
Yeah, my real spirit box, the adapter on it is starting to go, so when I plug it in, it doesn't quite charge.
It's a guitar center.
Is it mini USB or full?
It's the one that it's like a trapezoid, but with the little indentations.
Fake!
Fake spirit box. Going back to the initial physical contact of the chair moving across the hallway, like, that's a legitimate, I think, haunting.
Oh, yeah.
So for this app to kind of go haywire is to be expected, right?
Well, do you think that hauntings and poltergeists can be different things, though?
Yes.
That poltergeists can sometimes just be the energy of a person, whereas a haunting would be an attached spirit.
Full disclosure, I don't know a lot about the differences between the actual spirits, but I always tend to believe 80 skew to 20 that there can be some kind of energy that can push things, that can control an environment, whether positive or negative.
Well, it seemed like at the end all be all was that they were friendly little ghosts. So if anything, Amanda has got a nice polite ghost to pull out.
Those could be called sprites. That's another type of spirit.
For her at social functions.
You think that the words "bring her" are sort of friendly and inviting ghost words to hear from?
Maybe the ghost's English is not so hot.
Well, no, okay.
Maybe
Well, check out.
So that's something that. Go ahead.
Here's the difference: bring her or bring her.
Either way, it sounds creepy to me. Both sound creepy to me, honestly.
Promo. Marking that one.
There is a thing that I'm sure you guys, like, in our research we've done. I won't say that there's a prevalence or a preference of ghosts towards women, but you do sort of see that kind of pretty girl enters the room, all of a sudden, ghostly stuff will happen, chairs will pop out, and weird, ghosts.
Among other things, am I right?
Hi-yo. The ghosts, they're suave dudes, right? He understands, like, pull the chair out for the lady. Like, yeah. Tell the app to bring her. Like, he's got a path to.
Is that the first line of the Necronomicon, or ghosts are suave dudes?
Suave dudes.
That's actually a very romantic take on the whole ghost phenomenon, because a lot of people don't, and Man Daddy, you can back me up. A lot of people who actually interact with spirits, they don't necessarily feel any kind of dread or evil.
Right. Could just be a crush.
Once again, though, Kaz brings up that point of spirits can have an affection towards the real, to us, the real material world. And a lot of times, romantic ghost stories have been written.
Absolutely.
So,
But don't be too beautiful that evil spirits attach to you and ruin your life.
no,
That's bad.
Yeah, so whatever you're doing, throw it off scent a little bit. so it's not following
Do ghosts smell?
I don't want to know.
Maybe they perceive you in ways you've never even thought of. Man,
Exactly.
This is true, Kaz.
All you have to do to reach out to us is 570-478-378-9570 4RT FRTZ, and also Facebook. Just look us up at Fort Fritz.
All right, welcome back to Fort Fritz. I am co-host Man Daddy. As always with us, we have Kaz right here.
Howdy, folks.
We have Nick Spry, Esquire.
Much cozier inside here.
And our fearless leader, Fritz, of course.
Greetings.
Now, we just had to come inside because it was just kind of a little too buggy. I think it was buggy outside.
Definitely boggy.
And most of us lost our shoes, or at least partially lost our shoes. And we came back in the house, and there was just a setting of shoes out for us that all seemed to fit perfectly. And did you notice those before when you moved in?
Oh, no, but, at the same point, I don't really notice a lot.
I've noticed
true.
that.
Yeah.
I have noticed that
We've
you don't
noticed
notice
that.
things.
Yeah,
You've noticed that?
I have noticed that. That's really
Why
weird.
didn't you tell me?
Well, because I didn't think you'd notice. But I noticed that when we came in, that these shoes just seem to fit perfectly, and they're actually really comfy. These are really nice shoes.
Oh,
and so
no.
I don't, maybe the house taketh away, but it also provides. I don't know.
Nick Spry is rocking these sweet-ass hobnail boots.
Yeah, they're
Right,
really...
they're all like seemingly tailored to our personalities. They're not just like the same kind of like you've got slippers on, obviously.
Yeah.
Mine,
Mine,
Daddy,
too.
which they're beautiful.
Oh,
Bespoke
I
slippers.
know, because I'm in them.
Nice.
Well,
I can feel
I, of course, am rocking bowling shoes because
Why wouldn't you?
why wouldn't I?
they're
And
handsome.
you guys look good in the pair of saddle shoes.
thank you.
Yeah.
What are saddle shoes?
It's kind of the cut of what a bowling shoe looks like, with that stripe across the middle.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Nick Spry is in sandals with socks for some reason.
Hey, it works. Don't judge.
You look great.
They are super
It looks comfy. It looks really
Yeah,
It's
comfy.
like the that's also known as the Ice Cube.
Really?
Yeah. Ice Cube likes the socks with the sandals.
Good for him.
Watch Friday.
I happen to find these bright white Velcro sneakers.
Those are fly, yo.
Thank you.
Pretty fly for a white guy, I have to say.
Very
Oh, yeah.
easy to put on and also take off my feet.
The not to give away any spoilers, but quick shout out to Stephen King, Dark Tower. This is an exact.
Yeah.
This is an exact replica of a scenario that happened in the Dark Tower. And
Really?
The shoes helped, but they were ominously. What would you say that? Given.
Why would you bring this up right now?
I was
worried.
really
I'm taking
enjoying
these
these slippers.
I'm
Kaz.
worried.
I'm taking,
I'm taking mine off. I'm taking mine off.
All right, get them off. Get them
I know,
off.
just got
Take 'em off.
squishy socks.
Let's
I'm
go
just
down
saying.
it. Let's get further into the house here.
Please.
There's this new carpeted runner, which actually feels good in my stocking
Ooh.
feet. Let's follow this down a little bit and
Okay.
take a look. It's still wonderful woodwork in this place, I have to say.
Thank you. I did it all by hand.
You're completely lying to me.
I am.
Nice.
Yeah. It's very, very beautiful, and
Thank you.
And now here we have arrived in this. It looks like a den, I guess. We've got
Cozy.
a roaring fire for some. Did you set a fire in here earlier?
I will be completely honest. I've never even ventured to take a right, and it just seems like I should have. This is gorgeous.
It's beautiful and it's nice and warm. It feels good on my semi-wet feet since I had to take off those beautiful shoes that you made demonic thanks to your Stephen King reference.
Yeah, why would you even do that, Kaz?
It was a cautionary reference. Okay, it wasn't meant to like really affect your life at all.
Well, you're really bumming me
Yeah.
out now.
Oh man, but this is very nice though.
It is.
I'm bummed, but I'm comfy.
What's all this stuff in here? What is all these boxes?
Just boxes and boxes.
Oh, he's got a gramophone. Look at that.
Oh,
dude.
that's old school. And,
No way.
and the boxes they're LPs.
Yes.
We got vinyl. We got
All
vinyl.
right.
We can get as hipster as we want to right now.
Let's do this.
He's even, Uncle Felix even has like wax cylinder cones. Like,
Oh my
how
god.
much equipment did he have?
Man, Daddy, take that one off. That one, it's spooked me out a little bit.
A lot of varied musical influences from your Uncle Felix here, it seems.
It's got some weird stuff in here. It's a
over
real
the place.
Yeah, it's a
crazy amalgamation of taste here.
yeah, and it seems to tend towards the scarier and creepier. I don't know.
Got some skeletal family in there. I see
What's
that.
going on over there, Fritzy?
Yeah,
What are you struggling
I'm
with?
trying to get the damn love seat back.
I don't
That's
think
not
it's a
how those
recliner.
work.
I don't think it
No,
is.
it's not like a lazy boy.
I don't think there's much love in this house when
I
it
got
comes
all of
to
them lean back.
No.
No.
This is an old school one. You gotta
Nope.
break it. Stop. You gotta
Yeah.
break it.
Yep, you just broke the leg off it. That's not a handle.
Damn it.
Are you trying to anger the house? Are you trying to make it mad? It just provided you wonderful slippers, a cozy fire. Now you're breaking the furniture.
I'll lean it back.
There's no difference. You're just laying on
You're
it.
like sitting on the arm of the love seat that is slumping over,
That
missing
can't be
one
Do
leg.
you have
comfortable.
anything better that you can do for me then?
Oh, we could
Ask
listen
you
to
to
some,
sit like a
some
normal
records.
person.
let's
Yeah.
listen to some records. I mean, we got a lot of good stuff here.
All right. What do you got?
got?
What do you got in that box?
Pass over a box to me.
All right, here you go. Slide one over.
Thank you.
Open them up.
What do you got? What do you got in that box, Fritz?
I haven't even opened the damn thing yet.
Well, what over here waiting for you to.
The first one I pulled
Entertain
out
me.
was The Plague Mass by Diamanda Gallis.
What?
Yeah,
That
it's a record where a woman with a 6-octave vocal range broke into the second largest cathedral in the world and recorded a satanic mass by
Jesus.
herself at like 4:00 in the morning.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, that's the first one I pulled out.
Okay.
Okay.
I have Peter, Paul, and Mary, Puff the Magic Dragon.
Oh God, no!
Yeah, it's really
Oh.
spooky.
With
now
fire.
keep that one. Keep the dragon album.
Okay.
Dragons. What do you got there, Kaz? You see anything interesting in yours?
I mean, this one seems to be a lot of just like top 40 stuff. I've seen a lot of George Michael and
Really?
yeah, he's actually this is kind of a cool. Well, you mind if I keep this one? Oh wait, no,
What is it?
never mind.
What is it? What do you got?
Nothing.
What ruined it?
This is Paul Rubin's rap album. Apparently,
Ooh.
Okay.
pretty rare, I
Pretty
imagine.
dark, actually.
Keep that one. I
Okay.
don't want it.
Was it recorded at a movie theater?
Because that would be sexy.
Yeah.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Whoa.
God, oh, what did it do to you, man?
Is that
Had a
dust
film
cloud?
on it, or like something. Yeah, it was
Kaz
strange
is in
kind
a
of
dust
a
cloud
want.
now. I can't
Not
even see like
good.
Pigpen.
I get it, you vape.
I have the Macho Man Randy Savage's solo record right here.
Oh, that's a
hell
ray
yeah.
of sunshine right there.
Throw
That's
that,
a,
throw that beast on.
that's a glimmer of wonder in this
Oh,
world.
he's also got the single for Eddie Murphy's "My Girl Parties All the Time."
Oh,
Ah,
sweet.
Yes.
What?
Let me.
No.
Can I just interject?
Fuck
My
it.
favorite Randy Savage rap of all time is "Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey." Ooh yeah.
That's a good one.
I like that you just had it on deck too.
Yeah,
You weren't
yeah.
even like, I think it was Tower. Like you were just like ready.
No hesitation.
Whoa! What was that?
What was that?
Was that one of those like secret phrases that the house responds to?
It's like a crazy armoire just popped out of the wall here.
Oh.
It's unfolding.
Oh,
With all
wow.
these
It looks
drawers.
state of the art too. What is this?
What's in there?
Looks like more records.
More
actually.
records.
More records, yeah. These are
Okay.
the secret ones, apparently.
My God,
These are the special the house mixes. I
Special
guess.
stash.
I'm
These
guessing
are
maybe their mixtape is fire.
these are all completely unopened. They're all still blister wrapped.
Yeah, they're pristine.
All right, well, as our resident guinea pig man daddy, why don't you go ahead and crack that bad boy open? Take a look, see.
Who's that record by?
Getting real tired of this, Kaz. Okay, I'll do it.
Thank you.
Well, it's mostly a lot of not really shocking stuff. A little bit of Tom Jones, a little bit of Tom Jones in there.
Pretty dark. Dark.
Pretty kind of dark.
Pretty dark.
That's not unusual.
No, it's not unusual.
No.
See what he did. We got some Engelbert Humperdinck.
Okay.
Which is
Very funny
even
to
though
say.
the most darkest of music, the name is so funny
It's
it makes
hilarious.
it okay.
Yeah, you smile.
But and there's only oh no.
What?
This isn't good. A lot of people talk about joke metal bands and they're all scary, but have any of you ever heard of the band Mayhem? In case you've never heard of Mayhem, let me hip you. Now, for decades, parents have been afraid of metal bands and the music and the imagery, saying that it was evil or maybe even satanic. But most parents have never heard of a band that maybe they should be afraid of, and that's Mayhem. Mayhem blurred or even removed the line between reality and fantasy of the dark themes that metal music can dip into. They were formed in 1984 in Oslo and were some of the founders of the Norwegian black metal scene. Now, this scene dealt with the themes of darkness and evil in a much more shall we say, real way. Not only did they sing about evil, death, and the dark arts, they kind of practiced it. In the 90s
Jesus.
and the 2000s, there were a series of church burnings that were attributed to and even bragged about by local death metal bands, including Mayhem.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm going to use just their stage names because I don't really want to destroy the Norwegian names. It's way more fun to use their stage names. So the band began with Euronymous on guitar and Necro Butcher on bass, and with various drummers and session vocals for a while. The band gained the majority of their fame, though, after 1988 when they added vocalist Dead and drummer Hellhammer. Now, Dead was known for taking the black metal image to the limit, and he's known as the first to use what's known now as corpse paint on his face. That's the typical white and black death metal image that you're used to.
Kind of like Ghost, right? Like Ghost does that?
But a little more dirty, not so refined.
Gotcha.
Like a Rob Zombie.
No, just not to be like Kiss, not to be like Alice Cooper or anything, but wanting to actually look dead.
Oh.
Death Clock.
That was the whole point. Yeah, closer to what Death Clock kind of does, but not trying to be funny, not trying to be ironic or anything like that. He actually wanted to look dead. Sometimes Dead would take his stage clothes and bury them for days at a time, and then dig them up right before the gig, so he would look more dead on stage.
Ugh.
And then he took it to another level, where he would carry around with him a plastic bag with a dead crow in it.
What?
And before gigs, he would put his face in the bag and huff those fumes to get more death inside of him and to get closer to that side.
Crow Jenkins.
Yeah, and while on stage, Dead was famous for cutting himself with broken glass or using hunting knives to cut himself. Their stage show often involved real pig or sheep heads impaled on stakes in front of the audience, and this is something they did for years.
They really went with that shock value. Right?
Oh, yeah, but like I said, these are real pig heads. You know, if you go see bands like Wasp or something like that, they're going to have fake pig heads and stuff. These are real pig and sheep heads and whatnot. And they did this for years, even to the point that in 2003, they were sued by a man who got hit by a severed goat head at one of their shows that got thrown into the audience. So they kept at it. You got to give them that. But where things get a little darker, and by a little darker I mean a whole lot darker, is in 1990. The band moved into a dark cabin in the woods because, of course, they did.